Hey, this is Cadillaktrackz. This is quick tip 120. Today's quick tip is just a additional quick tip on how to arrange, or an arrangement tip with Maschine. I've actually been seeing a different arrangement method be used by different people, and I want to share two YouTube videos with y'all where I see this being used in effect and basically go over it. It's not something that I've been doing, but it's how to arrange the beats in views mode. And I came across these two videos, this one being the first. It's called Mr. Grits and Gravy, and you can see what they're doing is they have multiple groups up here, and they lay the multiple groups across right here in the arrangement view. That way they can have multiple groups, and it just covers the whole span of the song or until they want that to loop. And you see the same thing right here under King David Trap Monsters TV page. On his page, he actually has a download link where you can actually download his template. And you see the same thing, multiple groups going on, and the multiple groups span across the length of the project. And you could actually take out these different patterns, or you could just keep them all there. They're all different patterns, so they won't affect each other. And it's not a method that I was using, but I've been going over it, and it's pretty effective. So I wanted to share and make sure everyone has an understanding of this. I do it a little bit different than they do it, so make sure you watch those two videos I just shared with you, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I'm doing it. Once you have a basic understanding of how you want your beat laid out, I know I want an 8-bar intro, and then I want it to get into the verse, which I want to be 12 bars. Then I want it to come back into my intro. And so I usually break my beats up into 3 different sections, and I have 3 different scenes for those sections. So the way that I'm doing it is I'll go in and I'll hit the scene button, and I'll make my 3 different scenes. So I'll click scene once. This will be the first scene, and then I'll hit it again and again, and right there I made 3 scenes by holding scene and pushing down the pads. So I have 3 scenes. I know that one's the intro, the second one's going to be the first part of the verse, and the third one will be the third part of the second part of the verse. Once you have the scenes like this, what I'll do is I'll go into my scenes, I'll click on the first scene, and I'll start to make patterns. I know that my intro I want to be 8 bars, so I'll go to my different groups. So I'm just pushing the pattern button, and I'll go to my different groups, and I'll make these 8 bars length. So that's group A. I'll go to group B, I'll make a pattern 1, I'll make that 8 bars. I'll go to group C, I'll make a pattern 1, I'll make that 8 bars. So now I have 8 bars for the 3 different groups on my intro. Then I'll click on the scene button, I'll go into the second scene, and I'll click on pattern again, and I'll go through my groups again. I know that on pattern 2 I want it to be 16 bars. I'll go into group B, pattern 2, 16 bars again. Group 3, pattern 2, 16 bars. Once I've done that, I can go into the last scene. So I'll hold scene, I'll go into my third scene. From there, I'll click the pattern button again, and the same thing. I'll make a third pattern on the 3 different groups. So I can go into group A. I can make a pattern 3. This one's gonna be 8 bars in length, and I'll make another group 3 or pattern 3 on group B, and then I'll go into group C and I'll make another pattern 3. And so I'm setting them the same length on the different groups. Once I have that right there, I can actually just go in. I can push scene, and I can hold scene, and I can push the append button. From there, I can lay out the beat the way I want it by pushing the pads on the bottom. It'll lay out the scenes in order. So I'll have scene 1, 2, 3. So I just hit on pad 1, 2, 3 for my different scenes. Once that's set up, I can actually hold shift, go to scene. Actually, let me just switch over to arrangement mode so you can see what I've done. It laid out the scenes, and it laid out the patterns, and you can see here that I have going on what they have going on their videos. It looks the same. You have multiple groups, and you have the patterns going across. From there, I can hold down shift and push scene, and I can make it start from the beginning or the first scene and loop to the end scene by just pushing the first pad and the last pad. Alright, so that's Cadillaktrackz, man. That's it basically right there in a nutshell. And what you can see is going on here is there's a different pattern for each different group in each different scene. So they're not going to affect each other. Changing this pattern won't change this one or that one. These are different groups. And doing it this way, it's a good way you can actually go back into ideals mode. You can label these different scenes. So I could label intro, verse, outro, or whatever, however you want to do it. But this is just a quick tip here on how to arrange the beats. It's a method that a lot of people are using. Multiple groups, multiple patterns, spanning them across. Some people you actually see, they'll have it where they're not using, they'll have blank spaces in where they'll actually take out a pattern. It's not necessary because some of these boxes I might actually leave empty, and they're just there to use if I decide to go to that group and put a sound in. But for the meantime, it's just laid across. That way it's an easy way to arrange the beat. I hope y'all get I hope it wasn't too complicated for y'all. Make sure y'all check out these 2 different videos I came across. Like I said, this is King David's with a link to his template. He does the same thing, laying multiple groups and patterns across. And then also this one I came across just last night, the same thing. And he goes into it more in depth, but multiple groups, spanning them across, multiple patterns. That way you can easily arrange the beat, and you can save yourself some time. And if you're not familiar with this method, definitely check it out. Right, I'm Cadillaktrackz. Make sure you check out my quick tips on my channel, and also make sure you check out my custom MK3 template. But yeah, this is just one way to arrange the beats. This might not be the way that you like to do it, but it's a way that you can use Ideals View, get it out real quickly, or even set yourself up a template like this and just have it ready to go every time. All right, Cadillaktrackz 1.